The UN Security Council continues to pile pressure on South Sudan's President Salva Kiir, warning it was ready to act immediately if he does not sign the deal to end the 20-month war ripping apart the world's youngest nation. President Salva Kiir is scheduled to sign the power-sharing agreement in Juba today, alongside the leaders of Kenya, Uganda, Sudan and Ethiopia, although he has some reservations.
After meeting on the crisis in South Sudan, Council members expressed their readiness to act immediately if President Kiir fails to sign the agreement today, as he has undertaken. The United States has presented a draft resolution that would impose an arms embargo and targeted sanctions on South Sudan if Kiir fails to sign the accord. Russia and China have, however, expressed doubts about the draft text, as have some African countries, in particular over sanctions that would target those deemed as blocking the peace deal.
As a result of agreement,
the latest in a string of peace deals, the agreement commits both sides to implementing a permanent ceasefire within 72 hours after signing. The deal gives rebels the post of first vice president, which means that Riek Machar would likely return to the post he was sacked from in July 2013, 6 months before the war began. The deal also calls for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to be established and a war crimes court in collaboration with the African Union. This, as a report by UN experts revealed that South Sudanese soldiers raped children, burned people alive in their homes, and hunted others for days in swamps in an increasingly brutal war the government had hoped to win.
The situation is particularly alarming in areas directly affected by armed conflict, in particular in Unity and Upper Nile states. I was able to see this for myself during my visit to Bentiu and Nile. I am very concerned about the atrocities which continue to be reported. The scope and level of cruelty that has characterized the attacks against civilians suggests a deep depth of antipathy that goes beyond political differences. Allegations include rampant killing, rape, abduction, looting, arson, and forced displacement, and even such horrific acts as burning of people inside their own homes.
United Nations Aid Chief Stephen O'Brien says the scope and level of cruelty in the attacks against civilians suggests a depth of antipathy that goes beyond political differences.
Hundreds of women and girls have been abducted, and hundreds more have been subjected to sexual violence, including gang rape.
The 15-member Security Council is discussing a US-drafted resolution that would implement an arms embargo on South Sudan from September 6th if Kiir doesn't sign the peace deal or if it is not implemented by both parties.